That's a bad bitch. This is in the 600s when women have absolutely no rights. That doesn't even happen today. And there was a story that they were saying of how when the prophet, when he would come home after he was exhausted, after Khadija was exhausted, oh, by the way, she was a businesswoman and she employed him. And this is a religion of, they believe women are oppressed. Okay. Okay. And what you want? So the story is he came home, he's exhausted, he sees her sweeping, and he just takes the broom from her. She's like, I can do it, like it's fine. He didn't want to cause any distress when she was in his company. That's love. And afterwards, after her death, her best friend, I forget her name, he would meet up with her and they would just shoot the shit all day about memories of Khadija, how in love he was with her. And he loved her best friend, not just because she was a cool lady, but because Khadija loved her so much. So he loved whoever she loved. That's love. And in Islamic teaching, in text and history, it's known that after Khadija died, it was known as the years of depression. He would go to her grave and bawl, hysterically. That's love, not calling her a bitch. So I wrote this song. I wrote this song. I don't know why they don't want me on American Idol, but maybe Iraqi Idol. Some shy little. So this poem is called You See. You see, I want a man like the prophet, peace be upon him. I want a man who wakes up before me and changes in complete darkness, because he would never turn on the light, not even to a slight dim. You see, I want a man who always lets me take a sip of water first. A man who smiles despite the pain from his quenching thirst. You see, I want a man whose eyes soften when I enter the room. A man who can tell I'm exhausted. So he gets up, kisses the back of my neck as he removes my hand from the wood of the broom. You see, I want a man who can feel my laugh and feel my cry. A man who sees me at my worst and would never utter the words goodbye. You see, I want a man who every day kisses my scar. A man who would never look for a good time in the emptiness of a bar. You see, I want a man who always makes me feel respected. A man I can grow old with and share millions of memories we've collected. You see, I want a man who's not ashamed to drive miles to bring me a cup of coffee while I study for an exam. A man who I study for exam. You see, I want a man who loves God beyond measure. A man who waited for a wife before ever seeking sexual pleasure. You see, I want a man whose eyes don't wander. A man who only sees me when his mind starts to ponder. You see, I want a man who understands the value of why we fast. A man who knows it takes hard work to make anything ever last. You see, I want a man who loves Islam in and out. A man who ties his heart around the Quran like the intricate knot of a Cub Scout. You see, I want a man who doesn't just value what I look like, but I want a man who loves me completely. In the morning, the afternoon, and the night. You see, I want a man whose noble character everyone can recollect. A man who God could never turn away from, never neglect. You see, I really hope that this comes true, because I really want to start saying thank you. And I know that it's a little bit early, but I know that you're going to change my life. And I just hope to God I can do the same. Sincerely, your future wife.